Well, Erik Ten Hag and Sir Jim Ratcliffe fight for power at Man United. What type of power are these two fighting in for? This is what you're going to be discussing in here onto the United Matters channel. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share if you're watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name, and I'm here to obviously discuss lots of things concerning Manchester United and how far we are really gonna go in this, because as we're really clapping for the coming in of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, but looks like what we did in the past has gone ahead to obviously bite us in the present, and we should obviously come in here and obviously discuss about it. And at the end of this video, you're going to get to know why the Glazers are the worst or are the hugest problem that the United team will ever have. And if at all they are not outside here, it's going to take us years, by the way, to get where we deserve to be as a club and the fan base of Manchester United as far as results on the field of play are really concerned. Why do we relate this to that? Because what you see on the field of play contributes just 5%, but 95% happens off pitch. So those outside the pitch decisions have gone ahead to obviously cost us. And there is a youngster, Mejía, that Sevilla is looking at to sign on a permanent deal, and I don't know whether Erik Ten Hag will really accept this to happen. Smash the like button, comment and share if you're only watching us for the very first time. Endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I agree, I've gone ahead to come in late, but I believe that we are gonna really execute this to the best of levels that we deserve to be really executing it. So as it stands, we are here to really welcome the new year, 2nd of January 2024, and the summer transfer window is open. Donny van de Beek is going to have to leave. Who else is going to leave? You are going to really be let known in the second video of the day we're going to record in an hour's time from now. Now, let's go to this story coming in through from Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Ineos. And for that, we thank God for the gift of life, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. And we are having Sir Jim Ratcliffe is in Manchester United today, and we hold meetings at Old Trafford at Carrington for the first time. He will speak with Erik Ten Hag and the coaching staff at the training ground. So today, we expected him to be at Carrington, and he really showed up at Carrington and really talked to Erik Ten Hag and the coaching staff at the ground. Now, him coming in through is really a breather to what we expect to be happening at the club of Manchester United. Not so, because the football operations have been really stinking at Manchester United, and we needed a rebalator or a person who is going to really revolutionize this side of Manchester United. And you might see him as a vanguard of his own craft, but even Erik Ten Hag had something he had to really say to him, but that meeting has been held. But however much we're not going to hate to gate what was in that meeting, looks like the agents of Erik Ten Hag have gone ahead to really use one of the correspondents of Manchester United at ESPN to put out a story that most of you are really going to look at and really get to know that these Glazers are really a very huge block in our success at the club of Manchester United. And here the guy comes, known as Rob Dawson. Rob Dawson is a United correspondent for the ESPN. He has confirmed to us that Erik Ten Hag wants to retain his influence in Manchester United's recruitment decisions once Sir Jim Ratcliffe minorities stake investment in the club is ratified. He has held a veto on all transfers in his contract since arriving in 2022. Now, this is where the fight for power comes in through. With the Ineos arriving with lots of people that are really experienced as far as the game of football is concerned, Bracefield David, Mitchell Paul, Joan Cloud, who is going to be the CEO of Man United, who has really vast experience when it comes to working at big clubs. It is really echoing some fight for power at the club of Manchester United, because Ten Hag was given a veto power on all transfers in his contract, and this was written down in his contract. And how is Sir Jim Ratcliffe gonna really try to really sit down with Erik Ten Hag and really convince him that we are going to be doing ABCD and you're going to be doing ABCD? I really understand why Ten Hag did this, because he was dealing with competent people. Why were these people competent? Remember, when we did that story that Erik ten Hag was in Ajax. Dallin Fletcher and and John Mata traveled to Ajax to interview him. But on reaching that side, Erik ten Hag turned into the interviewer and he tried to lecture them on how a team of Man United should be looking and the signings they made that were really improper and the problems affecting at Man United. Meaning that he had gone ahead to make a very good research about Man United before the interview went ahead to be held. And remember, Louis van Gaal is Dutch. You get? Darry Blind is Dutch. And for Darry Blind, he was a player at that time playing at Ajax with him. Being managed by Erik ten Hag, meaning that Erik ten Hag had a very big intel coming in from the former player of Man United, that is Darry Blind, about the club of Manchester United. And it went ahead to baffle very many people. But he ended up trying to interview them because they went with questions that Erik ten Hag had already answers for, because he knew exactly what was happening at the club of Manchester United. So in so doing, Erik ten Hag got to know that I'm dealing with naive people, and for my job to obviously move on smoothly at the club of Man United, I should have the veto power to accept who comes in and who leaves. Because at Ajax, he had people at the top that could do the job that he wanted. You get? Like the CEO Edwin van der Sar and the sporting director Mark Overmars. So those two were really having a very huge job to do and really led them to where they deserve to be. And right now at Man United, Ten Hag had to do that to see it that he brings in the players that he wants. And that shows us that the signing of Jadon Sancho, the signing of Mason Mount is 100% a decision made by Erik ten Hag. So that's why we blame him a little bit, but no manager comes in through and obviously signs all his signings and they're really perfect. In so doing, it has come to bite us in the ass. That is it. Because this was a decision taken by the Glazers, and in no competent club you'll find this. Even if it's Pep Guardiola, all what they have to do is he sits with the board, the CEO, the sporting director, the scouts. They sit down and really front players that they think can play a certain position. Like, for example, at Man United, we've been always calling him in for another centre back. Then Ten Hag will say, I want Todibo. You get? Then Paul Mitchell will say, I want this other guy who plays at Sporting Lisbon. There is Goncalo Inacio. Then they bring the other Benfica boy who is like 19 years of age, the Benfica teenager. So they'll sit down and discuss, and have a debate. So it's all about one of those convincing the other and agreeing on a certain player that's going to use us. So they leave the boardroom when they're not going to hate to disagree, but they've agreed to agree, or disagree to agree on a certain player. You get? So right now, it's going to be hard for the club of Man United to obviously go through that process, because Ten Hag has a clause in his contract that gives him veto power on who comes on in the club of Manchester United. And I would love to see harmony. And what is going to create that harmony? It's how Jean-Claude recruits the sporting director of the club of Manchester United and the scouting team, because Ten Hag won't be willing to obviously hand over his veto power and really get that clause out of his contract. You get? If at all he doesn't have competent people working around him, and he needs to read through these people, he needs to meet these people, sit with them, and obviously understand exactly what they know about the game of football and how they can recruit better players to come in through and do the job. Because Ten Hag is like the sporting director of Man United and like the negotiator. That is it. He convinces the player and the rest is left to the people to negotiate the money. That is it. So he has been doing everything at the club of Man United, and the coming in of Sir Jim Ratcliffe really gives him a little bit of a reduction, on the baggage that he has been really carrying at the club of Manchester United, because it has been really huge. But is he gonna really hand in his veto power so that it's shared in between the sporting director of Man United, the CEO, and so on? That is the hugest question that will ever come out to ask onto this channel, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe comes in through with his own mission. He has competent people, and Ten Hag also has that clause in the contract that really binds him to really see him acknowledging every transfer that is made by the club of Manchester United. So the fight of power is there, but I think a common ground is going to be reached at in between these two people as we get into the transfer window of January. So we wait and see how that pans out. But the coming in of Sir Jim Ratcliffe today at Carrington has been really great. I think it's going to be a breather. The players are going to feel at place because these are things that the Glazers have not been doing. You get? If the owner comes in through and talks to the players personally, it really builds a lot of confidence in those players. Let me tell you, Chelsea had no philosophy. You get? And all they were doing was for the players to play for the owner of the team. That's why you see to it that right now everything is really scattered when Toddy Boyle came in through, because the other guy used to spend huge money, sack managers, but bring in players and talks to them personally. He addresses them and he instills a heart in them that you are playing for Abramovich, you know? So, he reached an extent that he could even defy the orders of the board, because Nemanja Matic going to Manchester United was a move blocked by the board of Chelsea. Then Nemanja Matic talked to Roman Abramovich because of the relationship they are going to have to build together, that I've served you for all these years and I'm going to hate to be a royal servant, an obedient servant. Why don't you allow me go to the team I want to? Abramovich made a decision. He told them, how much money do you want? I think it was like 40 million pounds. He said, if United is giving us 40 million pounds, let this guy in. But he sacked very many managers. So I was very happy and excited to see it that this guy is really going to be at Carrington and has been at Carrington today, because if the owner meets these players on a regular basis, there is a bond that is built in between the players and the owner. And every time they feel like they are down, the owner will find ways of motivating them. That's what this guy used to do. That is Romano Abramovich. So let's wait and see how that pans out. But it's really good to see here this guy is at Carrington, and I think this is going to be sorted in a nick of time at the club of Manchester United. Now, there is a youngster playing for the club of Manchester United. I really love this guy. I really love him. He trains with the first team, and Ten Hag has gone ahead to obviously have huge hopes into this player, and he wants him to be here. He goes by the names of Jose Mateo Mejía. He's 20 years of age and he's Spanish, and we've gotten a story coming in through from Alvaro de Grado that this guy is really one of those players that Atletico Madrid has gone ahead to pick huge interest in. Then, sorry, it's Sevilla, not Atletico Madrid. Sevilla want to sign Mateo Mejía, as well as teams from Belgium and Netherlands. Man United are ready to let him go as long as they get percentage of any future transfer. So, this is something that I really want to appreciate Erik Ten Hag for. He has gone ahead and obviously coming through. He has seen very many potential people playing for this club of Man United, especially in the academy. He comes in through and obviously says, all right, you are really great, you really play very well, but at your age, all you need is to see to it that you hate yourself playing time and to improve your game. I won't lie to you that you're obviously going to get enough playing time at the club of Manchester United, but all I can promise you is that you can have a chance to return. You get? So, when they sell these players, like Zidane Igbo, Charlie Savage, Emran, they include a sell-on clause percentage of like 20-30% after selling this player on a chip. And they also include what we call a buyback clause. That is it. It has gone ahead to pay off results in transfers of like Chongi. Chongi was sold to Birmingham City, and United got like was it £2 million? Then they put in a buy clause, a buy on clause, and when he moved from Birmingham to Luton Town, United got I think £1.5 million back. So if we can do all that to the players that we're having in the academy that have gone ahead to come of age, like 19, 20, and they are not convincing Erik Ten Hag that they can put in a shift and really take us to where we deserve to be, then that's a better way to do stuff, according to me. So let's see whether this transfer will be given a go ahead. But it is really good work being done by the club of Manchester United. Elevate these young stars and sell them with a buy-on clause and a buyback clause included into their deals. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Your thoughts on Ten Hag, Sir Jim Ratcliffe fight for power at Man United are welcome in the comment section below. And what do you make about Mejía? Should he be sold? Because he's really a very talented guy, but Erik Ten Hag looks like he's ready to move him on. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later. And I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. We out.